That's such a great question, and not one that we can unpack in just this short amount of time. But if I would have to say, my faith has just shaped everything into how I am as a business owner. I think, it's really allowed me to know how to become wise, how to be good with my finances, how to be kind to others. And it's really allowed me to hold myself to a higher standard that has in turn helped me to just grow the business. And I'm not the CEO. I always say God is the CEO and I'm just running his business that he blessed us with. And when I kind of look at it that way, it's just crazy to see how much he has truly blessed us. So I just try to stay open to what he has in store for me. And sometimes it's not perfect. My spiritual path with him sometimes is not perfect. Sometimes I'm distracted by shiny things. But he's always there. And he has given me so much through Kolohe. And he is the whole reason why we are here today. God's girls.
Period. All right. All of the pieces you've ever created, is there one that holds a special personal meaning to you?
That's a great question. One that holds a special personal meaning. They all have different meanings because we tell such different stories. But I would have to say Kyle's wedding ring and his charm necklace. So he has one of my favorite charms that I've given to him. One of my favorite pieces that I've given to him is this Bible, and it actually opens up to pages, and you could read the Lord's Prayer. His ring is really special, so it has an inlay of a cross, and then on the inside is one of our favorite scriptures when we got married. So I think those are the most special pieces, the ones that I've made for my husband.
Being a business owner comes with ups and downs. What keeps you grounded and motivated through the tougher seasons?
My husband and God. And yeah, there's not much more than that. Being just in flow with my husband and being in flow with God really makes even the toughest seasons much more bearable.
So, where do you find inspiration when you're dreaming up a new collection or designing a custom piece?
I think, like I said earlier, definitely inspiration from people around me. I have a lot of really just awesome people in my life, and if someone says like, hey, this would look good with that, this would look good with this, or if my customer says, oh, I wish this piece had this or looked a little bit more like this, then I feel like I'm very good at executing. But honestly, a lot of my design inspiration comes from other people, so I constantly have to make sure I'm just surrounded by good people.
All right, last question. You've helped create so many sentimental pieces for others. Is there a particular story or moment with a customer that really touched your heart?
I remember when I used to do jewelry classes, it was such an intimate experience with my customers. Fun backstory, I was a psychology major my first year, and I didn't want to go to school for that long, so I switched to business. And then I always joke around that I ended up becoming a psychologist because sometimes in the jewelry classes, or even when I'm just talking with some of my customers over a custom piece for a long period of time, it can get very deep and just intimate. And I remember she was so inspired by how I started my business at a young age, and she really wanted to do that. And she started crying in the jewelry class. And then most recently, I was at a trade show, and a mom stopped me with her daughter, who was 13 years old, and she said, "Oh, my daughter follows you on Instagram. She wants to start her own skincare business." And it was really cool to see that the story has just reached them, and that they're now getting it in their minds that they can do it as well at a young age of 13. Another piece, we have so many special pieces. There's been one lady who came in, the next day she was getting her leg amputated, so she got an engraved piece with courage on it and brave on it. We've had pieces where they're memorial pieces for a passed away one, and those are truly the most special ones that I love to create. Something that has a story beyond just making you beautiful, but something that's a sentiment that you're gonna hold and cherish forever. That's really what Kolohe is about.
Thank you so much for answering our questions.
Great question asking.